Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts. As we all know, yesterday Scarlett Johansson filed a lawsuit against Disney because Disney released Black Widow on Disney Plus Premier Access for $30, which breached the contract that she signed with Marvel and Disney, stating this film is exclusive to theaters, and that's not what happened. She has a right to sue. She has a right to ask for more money because they breached the contract. Now, minutes after I put out my video discussing all of this and talking about the lawsuit and all the information and everything, giving my 2 cents, if you will, Disney responded. They waited till minutes after my video went public to make their statement public. It's like, really? It was really irritating. But I'm going to cover that, and I'm going to be covering Kevin Feige, the Marvel Studios president, reportedly not happy. He's embarrassed by this whole situation. But we're going to cover that second. I want to cover first the Disney spokesperson responding to the lawsuit. So here's the Kevin Feige stuff. We'll talk about this in a second. So here's what a Disney spokesperson said in response to this lawsuit. There is no merit whatsoever to this filing. The lawsuit is especially sad and distressing in its callous disregard for the horrific and prolonged global effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, a lot of things happened when the pandemic happened. Of course, all these movies and everything were pushed off and pushed to 2021 or later on 2020 because we didn't know what was going on. So they're saying there's no merit to this whatsoever. But there is a merit to it because you breached the contract. Now, there's more to this statement, but like in terms of the COVID-19 pandemic, well, yes, I understand the whole point, and Disney was putting out films on same day and date in theaters and on Disney Plus, but the thing is, though, is that if the contract was exclusive to theaters, then, you know, you breached the contract if you don't uphold to that, and they could have easily upheld it for sure, but they didn't. Disney has fully complied with Ms. Johansson's contract, and furthermore, the release of Black Widow on Disney Plus with Premier Access has significantly enhanced her ability to earn additional compensation on top of the $20 million she has received to date. Now, fully comply with the contract? No, you didn't, because the contract stated exclusive to theaters. You did not comply with that at all. So, this just shows that Disney's trying to say that, look, she's already made a lot of money. But it was reported yesterday that she probably lost about $50 million out of this deal. And as we'll see with the Kevin Feige thing and talking about some other things, is that this film lost out on a lot of potential revenue because of the fact that they did not stick with exclusive to theaters. They were sticking with this is going to Disney Plus Premier Access. And we heard the original number, $60 million, but then we didn't hear any numbers after that because it wasn't doing very well. So she might have earned a lot of money based off of the original, pay to be in the film and everything, and then saying additional compensation because of Premier Access. But how much is she actually earning from that? I don't know. Let's look at what Kevin Feige said. So, Feige is a company man and not prone to cooperate. I can't talk today. He's a company man and not prone to corporate showdowns or shouting matches. But I'm told he's angry and embarrassed. This is not good. And as you'll see on here, he has been fighting against this same day and date thing for a while. He lobbied Disney against the day and date plan for Black Widow, preferring the big screen exclusivity because that's in the contract, and not wanting to upset his talent. And then when the shit hit the fan, the movie started tanking, and Johansson's team threatened litigation. He wanted Disney to make this right with her. Disney declined to comment on Feige. So, and we've been hearing rumblings before Black Widow was even released. We were hearing that Feige was upset and he was not happy with this decision of putting Black Widow on Disney Plus. He was not happy with it. Now that we're hearing this from a source that he's angry and embarrassed over this whole situation because it's came to this because Disney did not make this right, this does not look good on Marvel. Because it looks like Marvel didn't do the right thing when, in fact, Disney's the one who made this decision. And everyone's pointing to the new person who's running Disney right now in terms of the CEO of Disney, which is Bob Chapek, the new guy who took over from Bob Iger. They're blaming him, and apparently there's a lot of Disney inner fighting, apparently, in terms of certain decisions being made on films and Disney Plus and everything like that. And apparently the problem is Bob Chapek making certain decisions that a lot of people are not happy with at Disney. So it seems that Kevin Feige, it seems like he, in terms, is agreeing with her lawsuit against Disney. Obviously, he can't come right out and say that, but it seems he is definitely upset with this because it had to come to this because Disney did not do the right thing. Because he knows what that contract stated. He knows when she signed that contract, in probably like in 2018 or 2019, before they started filming, that it was exclusive to theaters. Now, with Disney's statement about the pandemic situation, when Black Widow came out earlier this month in July, things were starting to look up in terms of theaters and in terms of us slowly getting out of the pandemic. Now, of course, we have a variant coming into place in terms of the virus that's apparently very like, effective in terms of like spreading and everything. But they could have easily made the decision a month before Black Widow released, a few weeks before the release, or even a week before release, that it's only going to be exclusive to theaters. They could have easily changed their opinion, and they decided not to. Don't be surprised if this is not the last you hear of any of this, obviously, but the last you hear of anybody who has signed a deal with HBO Max, because HBO Max, of course, is getting all of the same day and date movies that Warner Bros. Is releasing in theaters and then going to HBO Max same day and date for 30 days. Don't be surprised if you start hearing more about lawsuits. Now, it might be a situation where a lot of, like, Disney, maybe, like, after this, it will start paying people off to, like, what they should have been owed. And same thing with Warner Brothers as well. But don't be surprised if you start hearing some more information about, behind the scenes, these people were starting to make a fuss and then they got paid to not go public at a lawsuit. I don't know what this is going to end up in terms of if we're going to hear that she is going to, her and Disney are going to settle this outside of court. But it sounds like, based on how they're responding, there is no merit whatsoever to this filing. It sounds like they're going to fight this. So we'll have to wait and see. I mean, things might have changed because, if Kevin Feige gets in the middle of it and he's running Marvel Studios, if he's getting in the middle of it, he might be able to help solve the problem. But the way it's him basically being, worded here in terms of like he wanted Disney to make this right. He might have to, because I don't know if we're ever going to see Scarlett Johansson again with Disney if this goes through to court. I don't know. She's willing to go to court. It might be seen as kind of a threat where she's putting it out there publicly and then they cower and give her the money that she's owed. But it seems like if they don't do the right thing because they breached the contract, they go to court. It's probably not going to end well. And people are saying that Disney's going to win. And some people are at least saying that Disney would win this. I don't think so, because she signed the contract, and I bet multiple people involved with Marvel and Disney signed the same contract involving this production of Black Widow that stated exclusive to theaters. And there is no asterisk against that. There is no asterisk saying, well, if there's a pandemic, because back then there was nothing about a pandemic. There was nothing that probably could be stated within the contract about a pandemic. So all Disney would have had to have done is not put this out on Disney Plus, because it's also been reported as well, piracy has been insane since this movie dropped. It's been the number one most pirated movie since it released on Disney Plus and in theaters. It's been the most pirated film since its launch date. So that would not be the case if it wasn't on Disney Plus Premier Access. It wouldn't be the case at all. But Disney decided to go with it, and as it's been saying here, the movie started tanking. The movie could have done so much better in the theaters, in my opinion, if they would have just did the right thing. And they tried it a couple other times with other movies, in terms of Mulan, Raya and the Last Dragon, Cruella, and we didn't hear any of the numbers when those came out on Disney Plus Premier Access. They didn't announce it. They only announced the opening weekend for Black Widow Disney Plus Premier Access, but everything else they never announced numbers because they're not good. They were not good. So, Disney, you screwed up on this one. You screwed up on this one. You better make this right, or else she's gonna win. There's no way Disney will win this. I don't see a way they could win this. So they need to settle this out of the court. They don't need to go to court and drag this all out, because there's no reason to, because Disney screwed up. It's not like a black and white situation or a gray situation. It's like, it's clear as day. I can't even talk. It's been a crazy morning. It's clear Disney's in the wrong. It's clear that Disney is in the wrong here. They need to fix it, and that's it. And if they don't want to work with Scarlett Johansson again, then that's on them. It wasn't on her. She didn't do it. Disney made the decision to do this. So what do you guys think of this whole information? Do you agree with Scarlett Johansson's filing? Do you actually disagree with Scarlett Johansson's filing? What do you think of Kevin Feige's reported comments, and what do you think of the response from Disney? I'm curious to know your thoughts, guys. This is very interesting. I'm expecting more information to come out as we continue on, unless they announce it's been settled out of court and they're not going to say anything else about it. But until then, who knows? It may give me more nasty. So whatever thoughts you have, guys, about this, let me know in the comments below, guys. I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out.